Mm. Mm. Check 1, 2. I'm gonna start talking when 10 people make a comment. Hope you guys are alright. Mr. Lloyd, Daisy, good night. You hear the crickets? You guys hear the crickets outside? The crickets are loud. Good night. Good night, good people. Good night. Maybe every night I should sit down in the couch here. Let me check this. Maybe this should be my. This is comfortable. The other place in the house is not comfortable. Maybe I should have a. Yeah, I gotta be comfortable now, people. You know, Master. Let's see how this thing works here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. A lizard. Bless up on itself. I feel comfortable tonight. In Jamaica. Ooh, yes. Blessings to everybody out there. Jamaica is nice right now. Let me see if I could. Oh, I put this up on the TV. Where's the chat? Good night. This is my first live on your channel. What? Here we just talk to people now tonight. Let me get some light so I don't look so dark. We're in Jamaica. Do you know that? Okay, it's a little right there. Yes, people, just relaxing. You know, just relaxing, relaxing. um, the couch looked. Let's get the thing off the couch. I don't like to dirty up the couch, so I'm sure show something on the couch coming on. Let's eat up. You know, coming. So it up too. So this is all right. That's better. So the couch shows up, so it don't look that bad. So you know, everybody have something to say. Finally, relax. Maybe every night I go online from here. Call it the Randy Couch Show. You can't hear me. This is good. This is how I should go live. Just relax on the couch. Bless up to everybody. Just living in the moment. Bless up. Mr. Lloyd, I'm coming home soon. This is Simaret. JB, bless up yourself. Good night. Bless upon yourself, people. So, oh, nice pattern, right? Nice pattern. Nice pattern in the house. Oh, this is a nice show. Okay, get some colors. Yeah, man, sis. Yes, Randy relaxing on the couch. Reasoning time. Yes. You know, this is going to be the new show. We get a different. Yeah, this is better. It's better to go live like this. I just need to get the power plug for the iPad. I'm seeing it on the big screen. Put up some cushions and thing. And we relax and we talk. We have questions with each other. Andre Clark, we have some questions. So, what's the topic of the show tonight? Yeah. We get some things in the background. Rest we head, relax with our yard. Why do I need to build a set? You know somebody at my yard, you there at your yard, everybody there in my yard. So, let's be on the couch. So, now, what's the question for tonight? What's the discussion for tonight? Talk to me. What are we talking about tonight? Let's see. Okay, I can see the chat. Let me see if I can see it. Oh, there's a chat. Mm-hmm. It did rain today. I think it rained briefly. So, mm-hmm. Um, Dr. Dr. Fashi going to jail? You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Dr. Fashi going to jail? What? You're joking. Lloyd Fisher, is this a real person or we need to block that person? So this is your chance for us to just relax, nothing, just to chat among yourself, talk about the corona. You know, I'm releasing a video. I went to Iron Shore today, Montego Bay. Beautiful homes there. I like my fans and the viewers. 3,800 email exposed. Are you sure? Are you sure? One thing I like about the fans on this channel, are you sure? Let's go Google that because we're going to be careful of news. One thing I like about you guys, the fans, you're smart people. What you saying to me? Talk to me. Woi, woi, woi. Woi. A friend of mine used to say that. 3,800 email exposed. Woi. Oi. Tonight is Randy. Oi. Make we Google that. Oi. A true yata. Oi, doctor. We never watch CNN today. Oi. Oi. What the? What I said to me? Dr. Fashi going to FAUCI. Emails from pandemic expert. Leak emails. White House defend Fashi and attacks over newly released email. Fashi is fiction after it's pulled. Fashi responds to release emails. Fashi. Oi. Oh boy, people. What I said to me? You can see what I'm saying.
You've had the distinct honor and pleasure of having some of your emails, many of your emails, released to the public over the last few days. And there have been questions or controversy, some gent up, but some questions raised about some of them. I want to get you on the record addressing some of them. There was an email sent to you from an executive at EcoHealth Alliance, and this is one of the companies that funded some of the research at the Wuhan lab. And this email thanked you for basically saying you believe that the origins of the coronavirus were natural. This email said, quote, wanted to say a personal thank you on behalf of our staff and collaborators for publicly standing up and stating that the scientific evidence supports a natural origin for COVID-19 from bat to human spillover, not a lab release from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. That email was April 18th. Now there are some of your critics who say this shows you have too cozy of a relationship with the people behind the Wuhan lab research. What do you say to that? Well, that's nonsense. I don't even see how they get that from that email. That email was sent to me from them. I have always said, and will say today to you, John, that I still believe the most likely origin is from an animal species to a human. But I keep an absolutely open mind that there may be other origins of that. There may be another reason. It could have been a lab leak. I believe if you look historically, what happens in the animal-human interface, that in fact the more likelihood is that you're dealing with a jump of species. But I keep an open mind all the time, and that's the reason why I have been public that we should continue to look for the origin. That email, in no way you can misconstrue it however you want. That email was from a person to me saying thank you for whatever it is that I said. And if I said that I think the most likely origin is a jumping of species, I still do think it is. At the same time as I'm keeping an open mind that it might be a lab leak. There was an email on April 16th, an email exchange between you and NIH Director Francis Collins. The email sent to you said conspiracy theory gains momentum. And this again was the idea of the lab leak. Those emails, though, as you can see on the screen, or I can see on the screen, was all redacted between you and Francis Collins. You have it, you remember John? John, they only took about 10,000 emails from me. Of course, I remember. I remember all 10,000 of them. Give me a break. You're saying you don't remember. You can't tell us what was in the body of that. I don't remember what's in that redacted, but the idea, I think, is quite far-fetched that the Chinese deliberately engineered something so that they could kill themselves as well as other people. I think that's a bit far out, John. And then finally, there was an email from you to Samir Burwell, the former HHS secretary, that had to do with masks. And this is getting regulatory. And the date here is February 5th, which I think is hugely important. She apparently had asked you whether she should wear a mask on a trip. And you responded to her concluding, I do not recommend that you wear a mask, particularly since you were going to a very low-risk location. That was February 5th. A lot has transpired since then. If you had to go back and do it all over again, would you tell her something different? You regret that? Well, John, let's get real here. If you look at scientific information as it accumulates, what is going on in January and February, what you know as a fact, as data, guides what you tell people and your policies.
So basically, um, you can't follow these people. And people are, we have to create one society. At some point, we have to stop. I think, yeah, you can't really follow these people. The, um, all I know, there's a lot of funny business going on. All now we not hearing about any natural remedies, and the ones came up with being pushed to the back burner. So this is on Randy Coach, relaxing with Randy, because everybody there know you ought to relax. So I'm not going to sit down up in no chair no more. We're just going to go up on the couch and sit down and relax and talk foolishness. The time is 8:21 p.m. A bunch of smart people are online right now all over the world. A bunch of smart people from Miami. Let's know where you're coming in from. Ryan Mendez, bless up yourself. I look on the TV screen. Good for Solomon, good for see this little community. We have yourself, Jamaica good life. We can relax back now from all the years of hard work and have a nice little community. And probably in the night time, we sit down and we have a talk with hot topics that are going over the world. So we can have, so I want you guys to decide the topic. I want you guys to decide the topic for tonight's coach. Round upon the coach. Just remember, I say after I come off of the coach tonight, I'm going to cover up the coach back coming to one Tito. Just know that. So, I want to decide the topic. What's going on hot in Jamaica right now? In the world, what's our direction? Please do hit the like button. Simmerant Selassie. This person right here is an article person. You know what I'm saying? A lot of smart people are on my channel. That's what I love. The other day I was talking to a friend. I says, look, I don't want to subscribe. If we're building a community and the people that will subscribe are a bunch of idiots, why more want you to subscribe just to get views? My likes and my channel is really real smart people, and the viewers of the content that we produce is very smart people, real smart people. We can do with a reasoning about changing balance. I want you guys first to, I don't think the people want to reason about change and balance. I don't think you guys are trying to some of you you open my eyes to all things. It seems like you guys have been following the reasoning on a deep level. Some of you recognize my depth, and some of you recognize that sometimes Randy don't want to teach because, frankly, I'm hanging out with Jamaicans. And because I'm hanging out in Jamaica with Jamaicans, if you act like you're too smart, they will actually destroy you. Them shoot Peter Touch, them shoot Bob Marley, them sell Marcus Garvey for rice. Sometimes me no like to be too smart around them, because sometimes me don't like to be totally who I am. So I hide and I camouflage, because if me really start elevate the people them to a level, them are gonna murder me down here, so. So, to be honest, sometimes I like to teach, sometimes I like to just, because my teachings is at a different level, and my teachings is at a way different level. It's a whole different level, and most people are not ready for it. Some of us kind of working on the book and working on the lectures. Natalie Urban, she says, you open my eyes to all of things. What a family, up top bugger, bless up. So what happens with a channel is, a lot of times people around me, and if I teach, Andrew Clark. So it seems like some of you are receiving the message I'm sending. What I want to know is a show of hands, person number one. Who's receiving the teachings I'm sending? Who's receiving it? Because sometimes I talk and sometimes me see um sometimes I talk and me see nobody no comment, nobody no response. And have a good day everyone. Up top, bless up yourself. But sometimes me talk and Jamaica is like a deer in a headlight. But if when I want me to, the top somebody says they want me to expand on change and balance. They want me to expand on change and balance. So two people, show hands, then put one. You can press the number one if they want the topic to be change and balance. Because and please leave the chat room on the live if you don't want high level consciousness. I want you to leave the live, even unsubscribe to my channel. Because when you see me on the couch, and when you see me live, I not deal with no little foolishness, When me I bring on, and when me I go, the levels when me I go bring on consciously, people. Financial freedom, Mr. P conference. Okay, this person I advertise, we need some moderator. All right, so your message to them. You can go and watch other YouTube channel right now with lower level consciousness. You can leave now. Once me start, there's no turning back. So, and some people might get them feelings hurt. So, I want to exit before me God start talking about change and balance. Because once me start, your head are gonna grow, and normal, right? And so that's why I'm gonna tell people just go watch something entertaining because I have a few people who want me to talk about change and balance. Why why change and balance is so important. One time, and are you guys ready? So the people who want me to talk about that, please tell me if you're ready. Because I'm not going out of mode, you know what I'm saying? So other people kindly exit tonight. The people that want me to talk about change and balance. So if you don't want to hear about that, just leave. It's high level discussion and it's not for normal brain. You're ready? All right, good. Now, want you to take out some since you don't want me to talk about that. I give you a little time to get a paper and a pen. And go get a paper and a pen because since you want me to talk about that, you're gonna become a student of that. So I want you to not forget a paper and a pen, and I'm gonna start teaching you about change and balance, and I'm gonna teach you. So get a paper and a pen, and you want to write this stuff down because you're gonna become a pupil. You're gonna become. It says. I've been following the journey before I came upon your channel, Mr. Randy. Following Mr. Clemson Brown's channel, and that's where I first. Okay, bless up. So you understand. You understand the depth of what we're dealing with. So get a pen and a paper. Tonight, you're going to witness one of the greatest experience in life that you're going to witness. Your mind is going to be expanded to a realm your mind is never gone. I'm going to transfer to you a consciousness that you will hear nowhere else on the planet. And I've been working on this consciousness for a very long time, and it works. So now, to start off the lecture, change and balance. Now, to all the students now who want to hear about this, I want you to write this in the room. I want you to write this down in the room, right? Because now you're going to become a disciple. Are you ready? Good. Write this down in the chat. All, ALL, is equal to change and balance. Write that down for me, you guys. All is equal to change and balance. Write that down for me. All the students. All is equal to change and balance. So it's all equal sign, change, and balance. Write that down. All the students, write that down. If you're a student, if you're ready to learn, write that down. So it's ALL equal sign, change, and balance. So that's the equation. I may forget to look at notepad. So it's all, this is not for Jamaicans anymore. This is for, so all equal to change and balance. So it's not is equal to, it's all equal to change and balance. Good. Good. You guys are, write it down like how Kimberly. Write it down. Write it down, everybody. I want you to repeat it. You see how Kimberly, write it down? That one there, Kimberly. I can't pronounce her name. All equal to change and balance. I want you guys to write it down that way. All right. I'm gonna, Christian, I'm hands-free. I'm the teacher. Sit down in the class and learn. Don't get me arrogant. Do exactly what I say. I'm away from the thing. I want all of you who, and this is how I get you to participate. Everybody that I know that's with me, I want you to type it. Exactly. And this is how I know you're disciplined. And this is how I know you're worthy. This is how I'm going to know you're worthy. You're worthy enough to receive this. So this is a classroom right now. So everybody write the equation down just like how, and guys, if you write, someone want every respect Andre Clark, respect Matt Bean, respect. I want to see, the reason why I want people to do it is because I want to see how many participants are in the class who are serious. You see what I say? So now I know who's serious, and I can get that. I get your energy. We can give the energy back. So there we go. Tonight is a class. It's a class tonight. So you see me have to get up and Mara D, bless up yourself. So tonight is a class. I'm gonna create a banner. It's a class tonight. Tonight we're having class. Change and balance. Somebody asked me, CLASS. Somebody asked me to have a class on change and balance. So we're going to do that so people could expand their consciousness. What they taught us for a very long time, all right? And I'm glad that class on change and balance. So that's what we're doing tonight. Good. So no, no, Natalie, you wrote it wrong. That's a good thing about this class. You guys are participating. Natalie, write it correctly. Evolution 21, you wrote it wrong. I want you guys to write it correctly. All equal change plus balance. Just like how Andre Clark write it. Rewrite it. I want you to rewrite that. So I want you guys to keep rewriting it so that all of us get it correctly. Right? It's a class on change and balance. So please write it down correctly. So everybody is in sync. We're having an exercise. The people ask for it. I'm going to give it to them from Jamaica. Evolution, write it again. No. You see, this is why we have to get everybody on the same board. This is good. So those who have written it, write it again so that they know how to write it. This equation, not and, it's a plus sign. Right. There you go. Trevor, I'm glad to see people are participating. Now, give thanks. See, this is good when people participate. Right? So it's all equal to change and balance. And let me write it down in a banner so that we can help you now. Remember, I'm 48 years old. I'm glad that you're asking for this class because a lot of times people don't give respect to something that is powerful. I'm glad to here all is equal to change, CHANGE, and hold on a second, I'm doing it. I'm getting old, people, so let the old teacher be old. I can't get the plus sign, hold on. And balance. Hold on, my people. Brandy's getting old. Them are going to call me a cult, you know. Remember that. You know, them are going to say BALANCE. Right? Done. Oh, boy. It's a bit tough. All right. So now have it. All right, so we have a lot of participants. The class on change and balance. We have a lot of participants, and I respect you, love you for the one I do. Give thanks and blessings to all the humans who come out tonight. All equal change and balance. All equal change and balance. All right, are you ready? So I'm going to ask you a question. The first question I'm going to ask you is, can energy be destroyed? Yes or no? And when you answer it, don't answer yes or no. Can energy be destroyed? Write it out as a question and then answer it. Can energy be destroyed? Can energy be destroyed? So Barrington Christian say, yes, energy can be destroyed. Can energy be destroyed? Yes. So how, Barrington Christian, how can energy be destroyed? How can energy be destroyed? No. We have a lot of no. Energy cannot be destroyed. Can energy be destroyed? We get no. Barrington says energy can be destroyed. So, can energy be destroyed? Answer no. Can energy be destroyed? Can energy be destroyed? No, because energy changes. Maria D, energy cannot be destroyed. waste your time. Barrington, so you want me to just block you forever? Can energy be destroyed? The answer is no. All right. So we all agree energy cannot be destroyed. Right? Oh, that's right. Good. So good. Energy exists infinitely. We're not some smart people, you know. We don't got it already. Can energy be destroyed? Yes, if you're not strong mentally. No, it cannot. However, if someone doesn't accept their own energy and feed off energy, no, the law of conservation states that energy can be that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but merely changed from form to form. City King that. You know, sometimes in a class, you ever go in a class in a classroom and somebody put up their hand, and somebody put up their hand and ah, ah. Oh boy, it's like if you do something that you put on. But like Barrington Christian says, it's like if you do something and you put a lot of energy into work. Yes, my people. Yes, I am. Yes. Love it. Yeah, man. You make me cry. When you make me cry tonight. This is happy, beautiful. If you don't look after your body and health, yes, energy can be destroyed. JB says, wow. So JB, you're saying that when we die, we destroy. Oh boy, what do make me cry tonight? Lord boy. Oi, oi. Barrington, I think you are talking about all right, my people. Love one like cook food. All right, so the class is on change and balance. So we have a. All right, so now the class is on change and balance. Right. So now I want you guys to think. Right. So we all agree that energy cannot be destroyed or created. The other question is, are you energy? Are you energy? Is Randy energy? Are you energy? Are you energy? Bless up. Are you energy? Are you energy? So you're energy. Good. So you're energy. Yes, I am. So that means you, you, I'm energy, yes, created by God. Okay. Now, let's. Are you energy? Yes, your energy. Good. Well, let's investigate what Simone says. Our energy, yes, I am, created by God. We just said that energy cannot be created. than the penny one. You're using the word created, but you said energy cannot be created or destroyed. This is where everybody now freeze. You see where you're going wrong here, Simone? You said energy cannot be created or destroyed. Uh-oh. The class is called All Equal Change and Balance. The class is not called All Equal Create and Balance. The class is not create and balance and change. The class is change and balance. All. I think you guys are getting it now. You see how quick we're. You see how quick, Simone, we correct your language? Simone, you have just expanded now. It took us that quick. And Maria D says, we have different form of energy. Okay. So energy is infinitely different. But energy cannot be created or destroyed. And if energy cannot be created or destroyed, all energy is doing is changing and balancing. All energy does. It was never created. It cannot be destroyed. You are energy. So all you're doing as energy, or you could say your spirit, all you're doing, if it cannot be created, it doesn't come from anywhere. That's what I'm working with you. You're asking, so where does energy come from? If it's not created, come on, work with me. It's infinite. It doesn't come from anywhere. Did somebody here say energy is? Somebody up top says energy is. There it is. There she is. She answered your question. Energy is. It doesn't come from anywhere. That's the answer. Energy is. Was and always will be. Energy is. That's the great answer. So this class have some advanced minds. And what we're trying to do is to show you that the way you think is how you were taught to think. The way you think is how you were taught to think. Energy is. So if your energy, you cannot be created nor destroyed. So you didn't come from anywhere. You didn't come from anywhere. You weren't created. You are. So what we're doing for you, you have the mind of man and you have the mind of, this is the mind of man. So you got to put your hands on your head. This is the mind of man. This is the mind of infinity. Do you see the mind of infinity? This is the mind of infinity. And the one thing I learned from this class is this is your mind, and this is the infinite mind. So you could also call it the spiritual mind. This is the mind, and this is a spiritual mind. So what we're going to do is to use this mind in this class. We're not going to use this mind. This mind exists in this realm. Planet Earth, oxygen, Earth, sun, stars. That's where this mind lives. This mind lives in the infinite. Do you see it? Can you see it? Can you touch it? Can you feel it? So you have two minds. You have this one, and you have this one. What you've been using most of your life to govern yourself is this mind. This is why you're not happy. This is why you're confused. This is why you want a mansion. This is it. Right? Right? So, Christian, so you're definitely going to be banned forever. Take care. Right? So, no. So, are you guys? So, this is the mind you've been using all your life. Now, this is the mind I want you to start using. You see it? It's infinite. Infinite numbers, infinite thoughts, infinite worlds, infinite possibility, infinite joy, infinite happiness. Here, you're not a man, you're not a woman, you're not black, you're not white. Here, you're infinite. You could do this. So, in order to use this mind, you have to use infinite words. When you're using this mind, it's 10%. It's 10% so far in this realm. You guys getting that? So this mind is functioning at a 10% capacity or 12 or whatever. I have left this mind and I'm using this mind most of my living. So when you see me, I'm trying to use this mind, not this. Because this one is limited. It's 10% or 12%. So why would I want to use this mind when I could use this one? And in this mind, I was never created because I'm energy. I can never be destroyed because I'm energy. All I do is change and balance. Here, I'm unhappy. Here, I live on earth. Here, I derive philosophies and books. Here, I'm having arguments with you based on my 12% intellect. That's what I'm doing here. But over here, and we all have this mind, it's just that we don't use it. But this is the mind that brings us ultimate joy, happiness, infinite satisfaction. Here we don't want anything. here we could truly live among each other infinitely. This is what they did to us. They got us stuck in this mind. Right? So this is where they have you stuck. Some people probably left because they're like, okay, this is too much. This is crazy. Randy's crazy. Right? You guys are getting this now. Your happiness is not dependent on this mind. Your happiness is dependent on this mind. So if you meet me and I'm sitting down in front of you, most of the time you see me, I'm using this mind. But when I meet you, I have to jump back to this. Then I have to interact with you because I'm there, but I have to come back over here to interact with you. I have to argue with you. I have to fight with you about these little words. And the difference between me and you is that something I can explain and some things you can't explain. So we're not different, we're just expressing differently. Now you guys understand. So if energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So you see what they did to us? You see, my friends, they don't have the answer. What did you write at the beginning of the class? All is equal to change and balance. Look at this space. Inside this space and outside this space, and even my hands. So let's widen the space and let's get rid of my hands. There's no boundaries to your mind. Let's do it again. So you put over your hands over your head. This is your mind. But then you get rid of this mind and start a new mind. And you take your hands and you move it back and you expand it. So now there's no boundaries. Mary, this is like an out of body experience. Your whole life was supposed to be an out of body experience. That's what spirituality is. Your entire life was supposed to be an out of body experience. So let's breathe for a second in the class before we go too deep. Let's just breathe for a second because we have to breathe. What they did to us, they kept us in this mind. And how they did it, they told us that we were created. And they told us that we can be destroyed. And once you accepted that, and once you accepted the mind they gave you, you never went back to fetch your real mind. Simone says, how does someone that can even experience out of body experience? You see, I don't know what people are experiencing. I can't tell you what people are doing. I can't define this one is doing it, this one. I can never tell you what someone, if they're not. Everybody possibly maybe experience what they experience because they're multidimensional. I can't define for you what somebody's experiencing. All right? So I'm not going to be that presumptuous. So the class is change and balance. So are you guys are feeling okay? No. We've been forced to use the physical mind. And we've been turned away from using the spiritual mind. So when you're using the spiritual mind, do you want a mansion? Is diamond important to you? Is diamond important to you? Is fast car important to you? You see, is a big mansion important to you? What you believe in, is that important to you? None of that stuff is important to you. Now, let's come back to flesh for a second. Let me live in this realm. Peace of mind. Like that. Most of the time, what are we searching for in life? We're searching for peace of mind. It's priceless. Peace and tranquility. If you could just turn this brain down and stop worrying about your death and your life and your house and your children and your money. You see, let's black this one forever. You see, peace of mind. You're searching for peace of mind. So basically, you want to get to a point where you turn this off. You've grown so far in your life and you're worried about your debt, this and that. Okay. And they gave you all the choices to make and you're choosing. But it's part of liberty. But you could live with the two minds. We're not saying give up this one because this one is real. You see? This one is real. And this one is infinite. So this mind is real, but this mind is infinite. You don't have to give up this one. This one is infinite. So when you want your peace of mind, and I'm going to give you my secret. So I'm not going to teach you, I'm going to show you. I want you to hold on. Keep writing the equation because you guys asked me to teach, so I'm going to teach you. I'm going to show you. asked me to teach, and I finally get a chance where I could sit down, relax, and I could teach. All right. What was the equation? The spiritual of your mind is what's important. Peace, infinity, bless up. Don't pursue happiness. Happiness is a choice. Peace in the mind, then you act in the natural. Okay. Easier said than done. This class is great. Let's open our mind and learn wisdom. So, my people, I'm going to show you how I've attained some part of peace of mind. This device is something like this. It costs about 19 US. Peace of mind, since this is a physical brain, okay, it needs something physical to help it to turn off. What this headset is, it blocks out sound. I've been using this headset for about 16 years. The truck is gone. I needed peace and tranquility to use this. All right. Okay, so now I've been using this headset for 15 years. Question I have for you, when you're sleeping, your nose probably not smelling anything, your mouth is probably not tasting anything, and your eyes are closed. But is your ears closed? Is your ears closed? Peanut wallet, good. Right? So what I found was you have different level of sleep. If you want a peace of mind, the vibration around you, the ear is still picking up sound. So when I wore this headset for 15 years, my brain started to rest. And the more your brain rests, the more your physical mind go to rest, this is when this other mind comes up. You see? So this other mind I'm talking to you about, it can't exist until this one gets turned off. In order for your brain to get turned off, you have to cut out the sound, cut out the smell, close your eyes, your taste. So you have to do something physical to yourself. If I'm sleeping now, the neighbors are making noise, the truck is making noise, the train is making noise a mile away in Brooklyn. There's noise, but I'm supposed to be sleeping, so I'm hearing all those noise, so the brain is working. The brain never turns off. And when the brain never turns off, boom. Now, the reason why a lot of people, when they come to Jamaica and they sleep, the noise from nature turns your ears off. It's a signal nature is doing. You hear the Pinawali? It's a music they're playing to tell the nerves in your head, relax, calm down. We humans are supposed to hear the insects at night. They play music. So even without this headset, so I had to wear this headset in New York. I'm not hearing no Peanut Wally outside. Why do you think when you come to Jamaica, you're a lot happier? Because you get a better universal sleep. So the Piniwali are universal beings. They're the brain doctor. So in your natural habitat, you get your peace and tranquility. You see how Jamaicans are just easy, relaxed? Them on everything cool. On top of the marijuana, whatever. So what we're trying to do, when you have alcoholics, what they do, they try to turn this mind off to activate this mind. So that's why they become alcoholics, they smoke marijuana. They're trying to get to this mind. This mind makes them happy. When they drink and they're drunk, they get here. The infinite mind. They're just happy. That's why people drink, smoke. They turn this off. So what I'm teaching you is that using this headset, I've attained peace and tranquility because I could turn the sound off. In New York, I don't have this that I have in Jamaica. So the class for change and balance, we started off your energy, and I don't want to get this confusing. Are you guys following me? So a lot of times we're searching for peace and tranquility, but we're not protecting our ears. Sound is food. You get fat on eating physical food. You could get toxic from hearing bad sounds. Sometimes you play music and stuff. So what comes into your ears? This ears has been turned on for 20 years. Some of us, our ears have been turned on for 20, 40 years. And when we leave Jamaica, our nature, and when you go into man-made world, you come away from the natural energy. And when you leave the natural energy, you do not become natural. You're unnatural, you're stressed, you're fussy, you're tense. Now here's where we're going to get deep now. Hold on to your chair. So you have been using books to throw words and information into this mind to govern this flesh. So the word is good because it helps you to coexist among men and your flesh. So your flesh, you coexist, you live among men, so you have to know the truths of man. Good. Read your word, balance yourself. But the word is for your 15% brain, your earthly world. It's for this earth, this world. What about the infinite mind that you have? What about the infinite world? How do you feed that? You see? So you've been living in this world alone. Now you have to activate this world. And then change and balance is what's in this world. Okay? Good. Words were developed over time in order for man to coexist. But there's more word to come because you're still at a 12% brain. And the word that you have now is not sufficient as we go on and on and on. So the word will continue, the books will expand. You did a bad job on yourself. You accepted the word and you made the word lock you in. And you never took the word outside of you and became infinite. You thought you knew something. You thought you knew something, but you really didn't know anything. This makes you think you're in the know. It gives you an ego. The book gives you an ego. It feeds you constantly. You think you know. You think you get it. But you're always seeking for the truth, right? Until you get rid of this brain and you come to the infinite mind. In the infinite mind, you're not searching for truth. Since everything is infinite, you can't find the end to it. I hope you guys are kind of getting this. I don't want to confuse you. So all of this noise in your head, all these words and all this confusion, is what's making you unhappy. You're trying to figure it out. It's like a maze in your head. And you're fighting with each other. No, change and balance. Now let's get back to change and balance. So everybody agrees that we were not created because we're energy. Can you agree to that? Put yes in the screen because this is class. You told me earlier that energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? Put yes. So you told me that energy cannot be created or destroyed. You said that. At the beginning of the class, you said energy cannot be created or destroyed. You said that. You said that. And then you said that you were energy. Then you said that you were energy. You said you were energy. You first said energy cannot be created or destroyed, and then you said that you were energy. You said you were energy. Am I correct? It's all yes. You said you were energy. And you said then that you cannot be created nor destroyed. And then you agreed. You agreed that you agreed that energy cannot be created or destroyed. You agreed that energy is, it didn't come from anywhere. You agreed that you're energy. You agreed to all of this. This brain that you have tonight, and we recorded this because you agreed that energy cannot be created or destroyed. You agreed that energy cannot be created or destroyed. And you agree that you're energy, and you agreed that you were not created. Please write it down. Because I'm not telling you anything. I asked you a question, and you answered me. You're teaching me. You told me that you cannot be created. Come on now. Don't go back on your word. Write it. You told me that tonight. Did I trick you? I asked you a question. And you know what your infinite mind answered? You see, your real mind tells you that you were created. But you know what your infinite mind said? I was never created. I can't be destroyed. Is Rondi tricking you? And that's why I want you to separate your mind. Because you have to now. In this mind, you're created and you can be destroyed. But in the infinite mind, you cannot be created and you cannot be destroyed. You just taught yourself. For the first time, you're using your infinite mind. First time in your life, you realize that you have two minds. You have one that's telling you a lie and one that's trying to wake up. One that will never tell you a lie. And you always hide this one. You always suppress it. You walk around hiding it because you want to blend in and you want to blend in with everyone, and you want to be accepted by everyone who has this mind. You want, you just want to, you just, because they created the world for you, you just want to blend in. You're lying to yourself. You've been hiding. And when they teach you and when you read the book, because you can't decipher the book, because you don't have the answer to the universe, you know you have the answer, you know you're spiritual, you know you're infinite, you know it, but you can't escape it. They got you. And then Randy came and Randy freed you. Randy freed you. Took one night. It took Randy 48 years to study, to teach this class. It took me 48 years to sit here tonight in front of you and show you what you've been doing to yourself. You can't lie to yourself no more. You can't hide, because you know that you have this mind and you've been lying to yourself because you want to fit in with everybody. You want to believe the lies so you could get along and nobody think you're crazy. You don't want them to think you're crazy. So you accept everything they said. I was created and I can be destroyed. And then tonight, you showed up with your infinite mind because I asked you an infinite question. You became the infinite you. You became spiritual. You went along and you hide and you lived a lie. You didn't live in the spiritual mind. You lived in your fleshly mind. And now you're going to have to deal with yourself. Because you can't hide from yourself. You know you're spiritual. You know you're infinite. You know you use this mind sometime. You use your power sometime. But you don't want nobody to think you're crazy. Because you just want to fit in. Isn't it? You just want to fit in. You don't want to be branded a crazy person for using the infinite mind. So you told me energy cannot be created, energy cannot be destroyed. Your energy and you were never created. You told me that. You see how much people left the chat? You see how they're nervous? Only few will survive this. And you see how much started to chat, but they're not talking anymore? You see that? You see how much start writing the formula and now they just frozen? You see how much people talking now? Because they're trying to process it. They're trying to process what I'm saying. Because they've been lying to themselves. And they can't deal with it. They can't deal with themselves. It's going to take you time. You're going to have to breathe. It's going to take some time to receive this. You just lied to yourself. You just, and they're not talking anymore. Where are they? Where's the equation? Now you understand how society works. We had a demonstration in this room. They're gone. Too much. Where are the people we started out with? Where are they? The ones who wrote the equation. They're thinking. You came in here and you told me energy cannot be destroyed. And you told me energy, we there. There she is. you told me that you were never. The question is, did I trick you guys? Was that a trick question? I said, Randy's, we're there. Thank you, Kim. Up here in class, boom. So they played a mind game. I'm watching on the TV and doing chores. No, you ask a question. We have different degrees of type of energy. Okay. All right. This was wonderful. So it gets back to change and balance. If your energy cannot be created and energy cannot be destroyed, that means all you're doing is changing and balancing. So when your energy comes to planet Earth in this realm, it changed into this flesh, thoughts, smell, feeling, emotions. So your energy changed into this. When your energy leaves this realm, it changed again. So you were never created. All you do is change form. So you were never created. You change, and then you balance with the atmosphere, and you change the atmosphere, and you change to this world, and you became flesh. You were never created. You change and balance. Okay? So now you change and balance. Now, JB says we were created in our mother's womb. So now the sperm and the egg meet in our mother's womb. Was the sperm created in the mother's womb? Was the sperm created in the mother's womb? No. The sperm came from outside. So that something came from outside into the mother's womb. So we weren't created in our mother's womb. So let's, okay. And then she says, yes, we can be destroyed even before we enter the earth. Energy cannot be destroyed and energy cannot be created. Once we enter the earth, that's when energy begins. There's energy in the after flesh. It's up to us now how to use the natural. So energy is infinite. It cannot be created nor destroyed. In this realm we call Earth, it changed form into what we see as flesh and how we process. Okay? Right? So if you're using this head, you could talk about things that they taught you in this head. So if I tell you to turn off this head and use this head now, would you talk about anything that anybody taught? Would you use any words that you've learned? So when you start using this head, you will reference things that they taught you in this world. When you start using this head, it's better for you. It's more healthy. You see? separate the two minds to have your peace and tranquility. You could play in the mud with what they taught you. And remember, everything that they taught you is of this world, this consciousness. When you go to Saturn, on Saturn, there's no information about a book. In the black holes, there's no information about a book or a man. So do you want to live here or do you want to live here? Okay? So you guys have to when you're using your brain, you got to ask yourself, which brain are you using? See, if you want to use the spiritual mind, then you wouldn't be. And this is what I want to teach you. So I'm not going to veer too far. Because you told me that you cannot be created, you cannot be destroyed. So if you cannot be created and you cannot be destroyed, are you guys ready? If you as an energy cannot be created and you as an energy cannot be destroyed, do you? Here's a big question. And this is not for the weak. Do you have a creator? Now, I want you guys to breathe. If you cannot be created and you cannot be destroyed as energy, do you have a creator? Are you a part of the infinite all? You see, that's how they taught you. They taught you that something was outside of you, making you. But you are a part of the infinite. So you're changing and balancing. You're not being created. That's why I told you guys I didn't want to do this class. Because it's for the advanced mind. This kind of discussion is not for the weak. If you're to be spiritual, you better know that if you don't get this, you're going to keep on running around with this brain. And this is why the more you guys type less is the more you might learn. Because most of you are using this brain to type right now. And this is why you have to look at the screen. The class is change and balance. All you are is a change and balance. All, A-L-L, you could substitute the word all for God. God is equal to change and balance. God is not a creator. God is a change and a balance. You see, I didn't want to start off by saying G is equal to change and balance, C and B. But that's what I want to tell you. When you could use God as a change and a balance. God is not a creator. Nothing is created. I want you guys to be silent for a second. Just pause and listen. Nothing is created. Nothing comes from nowhere. It's infinite. So then God is a change and a balance. God is infinite. And if God is infinite, what is God infinitely doing? God is infinitely changing and balancing. And in the form that represents God in this realm, earth, here's man, insects, trees, etc., etc., etc. Thoughts, ideas. How do we know God is a change and balance? Your ideas change and balance. Your emotion change and balance. The trees change and balance. Sound change and balance. Your vision to see the tree change and balance. Your flesh change and balance. Your blood change and balance. The planets change and balance. The black hole change and balance. When the birds fly, they change and balance in the atmosphere. God is a change and a balance. God is not a creator. God is a change and a balance. So we start off the class by saying all is equal to change and balance. How do you apply God to your life? If you had an argument with a man, what do? Change and balance. You could walk away, change your direction, apologize. You're doing something. You're changing to have a balance. How do you coexist with a Muslim? You change some of your thinking to balance with the Muslim. You change some of your beliefs to accept the Muslim. You're a Christian. Change and balance works in belief systems. Change and balance work in your bank account. Change and balance work when you speak, your sound, vocal cord. Change and balance work when you change how you communicate with your girlfriend or your wife or your husband so you don't scream at each other, you send an email. You change how you communicate, you understand each other better. You change how you feel. Music changes how you feel. Music change on balance. God is not only love, because this headset and the particle of it is changing and balancing. This remote in the particle of it is changing and balancing to be physical. The eyeglass is changing and balancing to be glass. The color on the wall chemically is changing and balancing to be red. Everything in infinity in the galaxy changes and balances. So is God just love? No. Among man with emotions and thought, God is love among us. But God is infinite, so God is love. But more importantly, what could really describe God is change and balance. I could give you this tool called change and balance, and the next time you're unhappy, you change your thinking positively to have a better balance with your circumstance. Somebody dies. You dance when they die. In Africa, you change and you celebrate their death. You change how you think about death, so death doesn't become painful. So that's a cultural thing in Africa. We dance when someone dies. We celebrate because we think of death not as a final, we think of death as a transition, a change in balance. So death is a change in balance. Life is a change in balance. The after flesh, which we call the afterlife, is a change in balance. So God, G equals C and B. So what Randy did, greetings, we're having a powerful class and we recorded this. This is one of your most important classes you will ever have in your life. This video. And for those who came tonight, we're going to hide this video and you're going to have to send me for the link, but this one is going to be hidden because I don't want the public to receive all of this. I don't want this kind of information to get out to the world. I don't want, here we go. I don't want too much people to know that I'm this conscious. Because if they find out that I'm this conscious and I'm teaching this, you know, a lot of people will send out hateful spirit and energy. That's why sometimes when I teach, I pull the video down because I don't want people to know that I'm teaching this advanced stuff. Some things, you know, your elders always hide, right? So, I want you guys to receive tonight and receive it. And what I have discovered is so powerful. It's so powerful what I've discovered that sometimes I kind of stay by myself because to have this kind of thinking, it goes against a lot of what we know. What I've done, I've opened up a portal of knowledge that no one on the planet has. And I'm giving that portal to you. You've never heard anyone say this like this. You've never heard anyone written the God equation. And now you could see how you could apply a God equation to your life, to your diet. You change how you eat meat to eat meat. You change your exercise. You change and balance. Because what formed you was a change and a balance. All you're doing as an infinite spirit is changing and balancing. And when you leave this form as man, you will change and balance into another form. Could be a butterfly or a tree or a stone or a stone. Or you maybe become an emotion or an idea, or you maybe become the sound of an instrument. I could become the sound of an instrument. I could become a color. I could become water. I'm a change and a balance. For crying out loud, I'm inhaling oxygen. So I'm oxygen that's changing into flesh. Without oxygen, the flesh is not going to be flesh. So what is the flesh? The flesh is water. The flesh is oxygen. The flesh is zinc. The flesh is just elements. And the flesh is just processing with an electrical magnetic energy we call the brain to process in this realm. That's what we are. We're oxygen. We're water. So the same water we see outside of us is the same water that we are. My gosh, I'm not a man. I'm a building block of infinity. I am a building block of infinity. I am a building block of infinity. Why should I not be happy? Why should I not be in peace and tranquility? You know why I'm not happy? Because somebody told me that I was created. Somebody told me I'm going to die. Somebody told me, now here's the kicker, that there's a beginning and an end. Somebody told me that there was a beginning and an end. In the beginning, there's no beginning. In the beginning, God created. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? In the beginning, God created. What have we been doing here? You guys know what you did? You said you can't be created. But in your book that you have written with your 12% brain for the past 10,000 years, you wrote that in the beginning, God creates. You wrote that. You're the one that's reading it. You're the one that inspired by nature to see something, and you thought that there was a beginning, so you wrote that. You thought there was a beginning, so you wrote that God in the beginning. You were using your 12% brain, your 10% brain when you wrote that. You weren't evolved in the infinite mind when you wrote that. When you wrote that book, you wrote that in the beginning God created. You wrote that there was a beginning because you did not interpret the infinite mind. You were using, when your brain started to become a brain, that's what you call the beginning. When you started to have consciousness on this planet, you said there was a beginning to your consciousness because you saw the sun, you started to make sense of things. That's when you had a beginning. It's the start of your consciousness in this realm. So that's when you had a beginning. In the beginning, God created. In the beginning, when you start recognizing yourself on this planet, that's what you consider the beginning of you. But there's no beginning of you. So your doctrine that you wrote has to be adjusted. So there's no beginning and there's no end. So I told you, many of you, your feeling is going to get hurt. Everything you've known all your life has been a misinterpretation and a misteaching because your consciousness was never risen to this brain. Randy's consciousness is risen to a spiritual consciousness, so there's no beginning and no end, and nothing nor you was ever created. God is a change and a balance. God is not a creator. God is a change and a balance. I told you this class is not going to be easy. Everything we know, because my brain is not functioning as flesh. My brain is functioning as spirit. So when you activate the spiritual mind, there's no beginning nor end. There's no creator. It's infinite. And that's what you did. When you wrote this stuff, you were this smart. But we're getting smarter. This is how your brain was when you wrote that. Now we're getting smarter. Our brain is getting there. Our brain now, if this brain now becomes the spiritual mind, holy crap. If Randy's physical brain becomes the spiritual brain, boom! If Randy gets one brain now, Randy gets the change and balance brain. Randy had to go understand what's happening here in the infinite world to bring it over here. And when I brought it over here, it became change and balance. No beginning, no end. No creator, no creation, change in form and balancing. God became change and a balance. So I could apply God to my life. Now that I know what God is, I could apply God to my life. I could be happy now. Because when I wake up tomorrow, if I apply change and balance to my life, I could change my happiness. I could change my choices. I could change my wants. I could change what I believe so I could coexist with someone who don't believe in what I believe. I could accept what that person believes in and don't think so heavily on it. I could use the tool in the universe, change and balancing, to apply to my life. So it's not about a doctrine anymore. It's about a universal law. The universal law is change and balance. Because it happens in the seahorse. It happens in the water. It happens in the air. It happens in my thought, my emotions. It happens in my consciousness. It happens in my feelings. It happens when music plays. When I hug a woman, change and balance. When I'm making love to a woman, it's a change and a balance to create life, not to create, to form life. Even making love, you're changing and balancing on the bed. Everything we do is a change and a balance. So God is a change and a balance. So you always hear them say, nothing is new under the sun. So if nothing is new under the sun, nothing was ever created. So the challenge with you is that you're using the wrong words. You're using the wrong words. You read the wrong words. So holy crap, Randy, if we read the wrong words, but this is all the words we have. Well, didn't God send Randy to tell you that you're using the wrong words? Didn't God send you a teacher tonight to sit down with you for an hour? Didn't God send me to teach you something that defines the entire universe? Didn't God send Randy to correct? Didn't God send Randy as the correction? Isn't Randy the correction? Wasn't Randy listening to God to teach this? Did didn't God send Randy to teach something we've never heard? Did God stop speaking God never stopped speaking, so God will use us, me, you as instrument to help mankind to have a better balance. My job, which I'm doing tonight, is to teach you more about God and how I could simplify so you can use God, changing balance, to apply to your life. God is not complex, and God never wrote a complex book. God is simple. God happens in the butterfly's wings. God happened in water. God happened in nature. You interpreted nature. You interpreted the sun, S-U-N, and you created a sun god from the sun. And the God comes again, and the God died on a cross. In astrotheology, the God dies in the zodiac. That's what your sun God is doing. You created that sun God from the S-U-N, the Son of God. That's how religion was created. The 12 disciples is 12 zodiac. So that's how you created that doctrine. God is the Savior. The Son is the enlightener, yes. And the Son gives us electrical magnetic contrast. And it comes again and it dies. And it was risen on December 25th. You created that because of the SUN. That's where that doctrine came from. So if you don't know astrotheology, you don't understand the Bible. So when you keep talking, it's because you're not well studied. So first you have to know where your religion comes from. Then you can understand the spiritual mind. Okay? You see, so all right, now, Simone, you now, yeah, got a simplicity. So now, Simone, now here's what I'm going to say to you, ladies, today. Here's another thing you were taught, and I'm not. Now, God sends each and every one of us. God allowed me to sit and listen. God allowed me to sit and listen so I could do this. So, in this mind, God is a He, God is the Father, God is Him. In this mind, God is not a gender. The first thing women, in order to get to this mind, women especially have to stop calling God a He. You have to stop doing that. This mind that they gave you, God is a He, God is a Him, it's the Father. To get to the spiritual mind, just think of God as a change in the balance and apply God to yourself. Stop it. God is not a He. God is not a Him. God is not the Father. God does not create. God is infinite. Reference to God as the All, A-L-L. That's what I came to teach you. God is not a man. God is the All. A-L-L is equal to change and balance. God is not a man. Stop doing that to yourself. You're doing that because you have a 12% mind. It's a crime to humanity to do that. You're downsizing God to a Him, a He. You're belittling God. You're reducing God to an earthly creature. God is not an earthly creature. God is not an earthly creature. God is not an earthly idea. God is not an earthly manifestation. God is the All. And this is why they call it the Almighty. Stop doing that when you reference God. So imagine if God sends a teacher to tell you, stop calling God a he. Because then, you see, and this is what you women do, because you're using this brain and you don't study. You don't know no other language. You don't go to Africa. The first scripture is not Torah, all of this stuff. You don't take the time. You're afraid. You're afraid to study, want no more. You're afraid to study because they told you if you study, you're going to know. And if you know, you're going to become spiritual again. What do you think? So I'm so tired of hearing, and this is why when I teach, most of you need to have a duct tape on your mouth. Put a duct tape on your mouth. Just listen. Because you might never get it again. Your brain needs to have a headset to block out the sound. You need to have more silence so you could hear God speaking to you. You need to close the book and stop reading for a year. You've been reading for 50-something years. Close the book and see if God will come through the back door of your consciousness. You've been reading too much. God is not in here. You cannot hear God by reading. There's nothing outside of you. This book is just teaching you how to coexist among man with a 10% mind, because you wrote it with a 10% mind. You haven't been listening to God because you've been reading. Why do you think Randy could have this consciousness? Because I've listened internally to what God is trying to teach me and tell me. So God teach me that I am a change and a balance, Randy. I don't create anything because nothing is created. It is the wisdom that I've been inspired to teach you. Where did I get it from? Did I get it from books? Is it written in the Bible that God is a changing balance and God didn't create anything? It's written in your book in the beginning. That's wrong. To who am I to come and denounce what man has written for thousands of years? I am too a descendant of an inspiration from the all. I came from, like you, the all as a messenger. The same book we wrote then, it's a new book we're writing now. And does it make sense? It makes a lot of sense. Can it be used? It can be used. So maybe this is the doctrine that's going to balance humanity. Maybe change and balance is a doctrine written by a Jamaican man, Randy, in a couch that's going to balance humanity. Right? So maybe today's class, this lecture, is very important. And let me turn off all the phone because at this frequency, a lot of energy is going to try to stop me. I want to keep going. Because what we're saying here is some things are very profound. I got 77% on this. And the reason why I have the power to speak this because I've been patient. So the most important thing for you, first, is to have a teacher that could teach you something that you could apply simply to your life. Put down the books for a year and see what God is saying to you. And then you're going to start writing it, and you're going to add to the new book that God is trying to create here. We could create books on earth. We need new doctrines to give us new balance. But you're part of that doctrine. The word never ends. It never begins. Holy shit. I'm finally using my spiritual mind. I was never created. There's no beginning and end to me. I'm not God. I am part of God. I am part of the Almighty. And there's no beginning and end to the Almighty. You think the pastors are going to teach this? No. Because in their mind, they haven't figured out yet how the Jesus concept was created. They don't know astrotheology. They don't know what words Jesus said and what word Jesus didn't say. They don't know the word that was written before Jesus was constructed as a God. You've never asked in your fleshly mind, what did Jesus say and what Jesus didn't say? Because if he didn't say some of this, we have a problem. Jesus didn't say that. That was written way before Jesus was constructed as a God to die on the cross like the SUN in astrotheology. You have to be humble because there's a lot you don't know. And 90% of you running around, speaking English, reading this book, you don't have a clue what the book means. Your humility is the most important thing. But then when you come into a classroom with a teacher like me, you start to talk, then I silence you. Because what's in your head doesn't make any sense. And you don't have the books nor the language to unlock. And you didn't take the time, nor did you have the access to the information. But with the advent of the internet, we now know what Jesus said and what Jesus didn't say. You never asked that question. Because you love the story so much and you believe in it so much and it's facts. But you never had a teacher to show you otherwise, to ask you a question. And this is why you have been lying to yourself in this fleshly mind because you don't want to do the work. And then you've been hiding in this mind. You knew that you were infinite. You knew you couldn't be destroyed. You knew you were a part of the all. You knew you had power. But because their books applied pressure to you, you didn't know the right words. You didn't have the right teacher. And you lied to yourself. And you're unhappy. And you lied behind your spiritual mind. And you lied behind your infinite possibility. And you became only flesh. And you lived it. And tonight, a man came and he freed you. And then you want more. Teach us more. Show us. Give us it all. Change and balance is all that you're going to need. You know, one of the reasons when I started Jamaica Good Life, and I started to say this, a lot of the people that were around me tried to destroy me. They called me a whole bunch of names because what I was saying was going against everything they knew. And what I was saying was making sense. And I was too smart. So if I would just die and don't say it, if I didn't go against everything if Randy would just die, how dare he? How arrogant of him. Thousands of years, and he just wipes it out with 2 words. That means he was selected. That means Randy was selected by God to come and teach us. God wouldn't give Randy the authority or the power to do this if Randy wasn't selected by God to elevate our mind. Holy shit. Randy then is a being that walks among us to teach us how, holy shit, then they have to, holy shit, that means, oh shit, that means is a, Randy is a teacher. And that means Randy hides. That means Randy knew that he was appointed to deliver a message, to make the correction that's necessary to be made. Randy studied, Randy waited, and Randy was patient. So now I'm teaching. And now you have to be humble. Because now you know that Randy is here. And now you understand what Randy is saying. And now you have to take it in, apply it, and make sure you carry the message on. Because I had to remain virtual. I had to hide to deliver this message. I tried to be destroyed to deliver this message. It's been a long journey to find an answer that I could help to raise the spiritual consciousness of the masses. You see, Bob Marley gave you one love. Randy, the spiritual teacher, gave you change and balance. They don't want you to know that a Jamaican man wrote the God equation. That he was so powerful in his humility, he gave us something that no one can go above. There is no equation, no man on this planet that can go above change and balance. Change and balance govern your Christianity, your Selassie, your Jesus, your earth, your heavens, your afterlife. Change and balance is your definition of what you call your God. So the fact that we come here tonight to get this teaching is something that you have to hold dear to your great-grandchildren, this video, because it does not compromise. It takes out everything that you know and give you something that explains everything that's happening in the universe. My own family, people. I don't have a people. I don't have family. I don't have friends. Because what I have, all I have is a message. All I am is a messenger. I'm part of the all. I am not the all. You're not the all. So now all, or G, is equal to C and B. So now you could write that equation. G equals C and B. And when you teach your children, child, you were never created. Child, there's no beginning and end to you. Child, change your ways to have a better balance. In the governments, we need to change things in the government in order to have a better balance. If we change things in the government, we could have a better balance with poor people. So change and balance works in the government. Change and balance will get rid of your crime. If we change the amount of people we have on the sea to protect Jamaica, if we change the amount of trees we plant in the mountains to feed poor people, they won't go hungry. Change and balance does that. If we change the amount of soldiers we have to go look for guns, we'll reduce crime. It's all a change and balance. So you want less crime? Apply change and balance. If we seek out the corruption, change the amount of corruption in government, we'll have a better balance. If we change what we seek, what we want in life, we will have a better balance. I want to plant tomatoes and mint. I like the smell of mint. So I'll have a better change in balance in my life. What is it I want? I want happiness, harmony among us. I want us to use the spiritual mind, the God mind. Use your God mind and stop using the mind of man. Because the mind of man is 10 or 15%. And you cannot argue with me with things that you have written here on planet Earth, and that you have written is only 10% of your being. So then you come to me to argue, it's a waste of time. This has been an amazing moment for me and you, and this lecture is very important. So now you know that these little planets behind me, see these little planets behind me here? So basically, to them in my white shirt must be divine. Are you guys still there? Did you fall asleep? Did I lose you? Many of you I lost. So you asked me to teach more about it, and I did. So in time, and everything will take time. Everything, my people, will take time. Take your books, and you need to put your books down. Close your books. Now, years ago, I had an inspiration, and I was a teacher in a room, and I was teaching, and people was in the benches. I was teaching in the benches, and I asked everybody to open up their books. And the Spirit told me, give them empty books, Randy. When they come in your class, let them open up their books and let their books be empty. So you had a book in the class, and the book was 1,000 pages, and the book was empty. The book was empty. And the teacher asked them, I want you to turn to the first page of the book. Then I want you to start writing. And the teacher asked them to come back next day. Turn to the second page of the book and start writing. And so on and so forth. And 1,000 days passed, and each of those students had a book. And they had 1,000 pages of writing in each of those books. And there was 100 students. There's 100 books with 1,000 pages, and words fill those books. And then the teacher asked the students, now you could teach me. Now you could teach me. And they started to read the books, and they started to teach the teacher. And everything they said was the same thing. Change in balance. Because their thoughts was changing to balance with their ideas and their worlds. Everything that came into their mind was change and balance. Every story, even the stories, even the inspiration was a change and balance. For it to get to your brain, to the pen, for the pencil to write on the paper, for the paper to have a word, for the marking on the stone, you have to apply pressure to the chisel to change the pressure, to have a balance to get the word or for the ink to touch the paper. You're all saying the same thing, but you didn't know what you were saying or what you were doing. So you have to, this is not serious. This is necessary. For in a time that we're in, a small group of people, and you know what they call you? They say it's a cult because it's different, it's new, and they follow us. Love this evening content. Thank you, my brother. I'm in UK after 4 a.m. Will pass my bedtime. Continue to stand in your truth. All right. So we're good. So tonight was major. And this one, I'm going to hide this one. Because if I don't hide this one, oh, they say Randy is a madman, boy. The boy is mad as crazy. So whoever received it, you're lucky. Right? And please, don't ask me to do this very often. Because, I can't keep doing this because I'm going to get a lot of people upset. So for those who receive this tonight, bid me farewell. And I could go back to my regular brain. Let's go back to the regular brain. Let's go back to what we have here in these books and back to the earthly world. Let's go back to the normal things. Let's end all of this consciousness. Let's close this spiritual infinite mind. Let's do away with that. Let's close that up and let's wake up tomorrow. And this never happened. I wasn't here. You weren't here. We didn't talk about this. Nothing happened here today. Whoever recorded this, keep it as your... This never happened. Let's go back to the regular world. Let's go back into what was written and what they believe. Let's do the regular thing. And, let's do that. Just remember, here's a secret. If you remember the equation we start out with, and Simone, Julie, and especially Kim, all of you, just remember what I said. Because one day, you're going to pass your wall, and you're going to see, and JB, see, she remained with us. It wasn't me. Good. I didn't do nothing. Didn't say anything. So just remember, all equal to change and balance. Remember what you guys wrote. Write it on your wall. And when you see it and when you pass it, you will remember this moment. All equal change and balance. You know what I'm saying? All equal change and balance. All equal change and balance. So write that down, put it up on your wall, and when you pass the thing, come on. Randy taught us something. All equal to change and balance. No, we know what it means. Good. It's a secret. Leave it alone. Let's not talk about it. Leave it alone. Let's leave it alone. All right? Take care of yourself.